What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Khamzat recently reacted with visible frustration during a fan Q&A livestream. A viewer asked him whether he believed he could beat Khabib, and Khamzat didn't like the question at all. He responded by saying that Khabib is no longer fighting and that there's no reason to even compare them. He questioned why people keep bringing up these hypothetical matchups and insisted that Khabib has his legacy and he has his own path to follow. His reaction made it clear that he doesn't want unnecessary drama or disrespect tied to that conversation. Right after addressing the question, Khamzat shared new training footage showing himself working on striking. His stand-up looked sharp, fast, and powerful, reminding everyone that he continues to evolve beyond just wrestling. The session displayed clean combinations, excellent movement, and precision in his punches. It was a strong reminder that he remains focused and dangerous. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Alex Pereira continues to show just how big his star power has become. Recently, he attended a Formula 1 event, and the moment he stepped into the venue, fans immediately recognized him. People rushed over to get photos, shake his hand, and simply get a closer look at the UFC champion. There was no security panic or chaos, but the crowd grew fast, showing how his popularity now goes far beyond MMA fans. You could see how comfortable and calm Alex Pereira remained through it all, smiling, acknowledging everyone, and appreciating the support. During the event, he even took part in a fun tire lifting challenge, something that fit perfectly with his powerful and intimidating presence. Without much effort, he lifted the tire with ease, drawing cheers and laughter from those watching. It was one of those moments where his personality shined, mixing strength with humility. Alex Pereira's presence at the F1 event highlighted how his name is steadily becoming mainstream. Whether it's inside the cage or outside at major sports events, he carries himself like a champion. The crowd reaction spoke loud and clear. Alex Pereira is not just a fighter anymore. He is a global star. Moving on to another news. The situation involving Sean Strickland and Derek Moneyberg has been gaining attention after accusations surfaced that Strickland has been avoiding a grappling match. The tension between the two began when Sean Strickland openly questioned the legitimacy of Moneyberg's jiu-jitsu credentials. Derek Moneyberg, who is 46 years old, earned his black belt in just 3 years and 7 months under Jake Shields. This unusually fast promotion raised a lot of eyebrows within the grappling community, and Strickland was one of the loudest voices criticizing it. He suggested that such a timeline did not reflect real, tested skill. According to Moneyberg, the criticism didn't just end with online comments. Speaking with Mike Perry on the Overdogs podcast, Moneyberg explained that he actually attempted to address Strickland face-to-face. He said he wanted to clear the air and even challenged Strickland to train or roll with him on the mats. Moneyberg claimed he had visited gyms connected to Strickland, including one associated with Glover Teixeira, where Strickland has trained many times in the past. Moneyberg stated that during the period he was present at that gym, Strickland did not show up, which Moneyberg believes was intentional. He said multiple attempts were made to arrange either a training session or a public grappling match, but Strickland allegedly continued to talk online rather than meet in person. Moneyberg emphasized that he has respect for fighters and has no personal issues with those who compete professionally. He understands that the internet can be full of jokes and criticism, and he even accepts that people can doubt his skill or question his belt. But according to him, what bothered him most was that Strickland made claims about him that he says are not true, and then refused to address those claims face-to-face. Moneyberg explained that he told Strickland several times that he was willing to show up at his gym, train with him, or even do an interview to discuss everything in person. He said that instead of responding directly, Strickland preferred to make his comments online where he didn't have to engage in real confrontation. He mentioned that standing 2 feet away from Strickland, the energy and confidence shown online was nowhere to be found. Moneyberg said that at one point, he was literally an hour away from returning to the gym and told Strickland, "If you really believe what you're saying, come roll with me in an hour." According to him, Strickland did not show up. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev is deep into his training camp ahead of his move to welterweight, and according to his longtime coach Javier Mendez, this may be the best preparation Islam has ever had. In a recent interview with Submission Radio, Mendez explained that training at 170 has changed Islam's entire approach. Without the heavy cut down to 155, Islam has been able to focus on improving every aspect of his game rather than spending so much energy on making weight. Mendez said that Islam looks stronger, faster, and more confident than in previous camps, noting that his stand-up, grappling, conditioning, and overall mentality have all jumped to another level. According to Mendez, this camp has surpassed any he has seen in their years working together, describing Islam as hungry, focused, and fully locked in. Mendez pointed out that moving up in weight has allowed Islam to train more freely. Instead of worrying about being lighter, he can now spar with bigger partners, push harder in grappling sessions, and maintain a more intense pace without draining himself. The coach emphasized that this, more than anything, has led to dramatic growth in Islam's physical strength and technical refinement. He said this version of Islam is the most complete he has ever seen. However, However, Mendes made sure to stress that the challenge ahead is not easy. He showed nothing but respect for JDM, acknowledging that JDM is dangerous, talented, and fully deserving of being in this spot. Mendes said that respecting your opponent is the key to preparing properly, and the entire camp understands that they must be ready for a very tough fight. Meanwhile, footage of Islam during fight week has surfaced online, showing him looking noticeably bigger and more filled out than when he competed at lightweight. Reports from camp suggest that Islam currently weighs around 191 to 192 pounds, roughly 22 pounds above the welterweight limit. This size increase has been intentional, as Islam and his team work to build strength and durability for the challenges at 170. Despite the added weight, Mendes says Islam's cardio has remained sharp, which has always been one of his biggest weapons. The tone around the camp is confident but grounded. Mendes believes that they are on the right path and that Islam is capable of becoming a champion in a second division. However, he repeated that nothing about this fight will be easy, and they must stay disciplined, composed, and fully focused during every step leading into the cage. Moving on to another news, footage has emerged of Justin Gaethje wrestling a stranger on a golf course, and the clip is going viral across social media. Known for taking breaks from fighting to play golf, Gaethje recently found himself mixing his downtime with a bit of his MMA skill set. In the video, he quickly takes down a bigger opponent and secures a tap, showing that even outside the cage, his wrestling remains sharp. The clip captures the moment perfectly, with Gaethje using his legs and finishing with a rainbow-style submission, leaving fans amazed at how efficiently he dominated the encounter. Some onlookers even joked about whether anyone had a bet riding on the outcome, highlighting just how entertaining the scene was. The timing of this clip comes shortly after Gaethje recounted in a recent interview how he went 5-0 in amateur MMA relying solely on his wrestling. Posting to X, the fan favorite explained that he had never taken a striking class during his amateur career and that his wrestling was his foundation. He described his 5th amateur fight as a wake-up call, nearly getting knocked out and realizing he needed to expand his skill set. It was during this time that he met his coach, Trevor Whitman, who would later help him develop the striking abilities that now define his game. Fast forward to 2025, and Gaethje is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous strikers in the lightweight division, rarely needing to rely on his wrestling. His evolution from a pure wrestler to a complete mixed martial artist has been impressive, but clips like this serve as a reminder that his grappling skills are still top-notch. Fans continue to marvel at his versatility, blending striking and wrestling seamlessly, and the golf course incident only adds to his legend. Justin Gaethje remains a fan favorite, showcasing his skills both inside and outside the cage, proving that his athleticism and competitive spirit extend well beyond professional fights. Moving on to another news, Khabib recently appeared as a special guest at an event hosted by an Islamic community in Chicago, where he spent time answering questions from attendees and sharing stories about discipline, motivation, and personal growth. During the event, the organizers played a short tribute video dedicated to him, highlighting his UFC career, his dominance inside the cage, and the impact he has made as a role model to millions around the world. However, Khabib reacted to the video in a humorous and humble way. Instead of praising the tribute, he joked that the video could have been made by AI in about 20 seconds. His reaction drew laughter from the audience, showing once again his natural ability to keep things real and avoid any form of self-glorification. Khabib has always been known for focusing more on actions rather than praise or attention. Even at the height of his UFC success, he consistently turned down celebrations and spotlight moments, reminding people that humility, family, and faith were more important to him than fame. At this event, that same attitude was on display. He used humor, but the message behind it was clear. He does not like being put on a pedestal. The conversation later shifted toward the rise of fighters from Dagestan and neighboring regions. The host and audience members noted how many high-level fighters continue to emerge from that area, and the host commented on the values driving them. He mentioned how discipline, faith, and a lifestyle focused on training and personal responsibility play a massive role in their success. No drinking, no partying, no distractions. Just work, family, respect, and purpose. Khabib acknowledged this while staying modest, saying that success comes from preparation and commitment, not hype or flashy highlights. At one point, there was a discussion about how people can inspire their children to have that same mindset. Khabib suggested that the best way is by example, not by words alone. He explained that if parents want disciplined children, they must be disciplined themselves. If they want their kids to chase meaningful goals, they must show what dedication looks like. Before wrapping up, Khabib added another joke about the tribute video, again saying he could personally make a better video in less than a minute. The crowd laughed, enjoying the playful tone. Even in a setting where many people admire him deeply, Khabib remained grounded, sincere, and thoroughly himself. Moving on to another news, Khabib reflected on his legendary win over Conor McGregor in 2018, which remains one of the biggest fights in UFC history. For Khabib, facing and submitting Conor felt like a vacation. He explained that the beauty of the fight was in being able to settle personal rivalries inside the cage, where you can compete, smash your opponent, and earn respect and reward without consequences outside the octagon. Unlike real life, where similar actions could land you in jail, the cage allowed him to channel his energy and frustrations in a controlled environment. Khabib said he had been waiting for that moment for a long time, and the experience went beyond just fighting. He could enjoy the process, interact with the moment fully, and even appreciate the journey, like traveling and experiencing life as it came during the lead-up to the fight. He described the victory and the entire experience as his vacation, a unique mix of competition, strategy, and personal fulfillment that only the sport could provide. Although Khabib has retired from competing, he has not stepped away from the sport entirely. He continues to coach and corner several notable fighters, including Islam Makhachev and his cousins Usman and Umar Nurmagomedov. Khabib has been instrumental in guiding these athletes, shaping their techniques, strategies, and mental approaches to fights. His role as a coach allows him to remain deeply involved in the MMA world while passing on his knowledge and experience to the next generation. He also mentioned that once these three fighters retire from competition, he plans to conclude his coaching career as well, marking the end of an era. Khabib's transition from legendary fighter to mentor ensures his legacy continues, influencing fighters in and out of the cage. His insight, discipline, and leadership remain invaluable to the sport, solidifying his position as one of MMA's most respected figures. Through coaching, Khabib keeps the competitive spirit alive, guiding his students while reflecting on his own historic career. Moving on to another news, the MMA community is going wild over Islam Makhachev's insane body transformation ahead of his fight against JDM this weekend at UFC 322. Walking around after training, Islam looks noticeably jacked, trading his usual lean look for a bulked-up physique that reflects the roughly 15 lb gain he has made, moving from lightweight to welterweight. Fans and analysts alike are taking notice, flooding social media with reactions like, "Holy man, Islam ain't moving back down. Time to clear the welterweight division, and damn, brother is jacked. He looks good for the weight." This transformation has sparked a heated debate about how Islam's added size will affect his performance in the octagon. Strength-wise, many believe he has the power to take JDM down, but questions remain about whether he can control him there for the full fight. His striking power is under scrutiny too, as fans are curious to see if the extra muscle translates into knockout ability. The added mass also raises concerns about stamina and cardio. Could Islam gas out early carrying this additional weight, or will he maintain the endurance needed to dominate a full-length fight? Some commentators, including Joe Rogan, have highlighted the risk of Islam tiring due to his bulk, while others note that this might be a championship-level physique built for maximum impact. There's excitement about the new dimensions Islam brings to the welterweight division, with fans speculating about future fights at 185 lbs and beyond. The overall sentiment is clear. Islam Makachev has evolved physically, and fans can't wait to see how this next chapter plays out. His transformation has everyone talking, and the fight against JDM is shaping up to be a high-stakes, high-intensity showdown that could redefine the division. With all eyes on him, Islam's impressive size, strength, and conditioning are the main focus, and the MMA world is buzzing with anticipation to see if this transformation will give him the edge he needs to secure another dominant victory. His move to welterweight has clearly paid off physically, and now the question is whether it will pay off inside the cage. Moving on to another news, Francis shared his thoughts on the idea of facing Jon Jones on the rumored White House fight card, and he made it clear that if the UFC wants the biggest fight possible, that's the one to make. In a conversation with TMZ, Francis was asked directly whether he believed a matchup between him and Jon Jones would be the most massive fight the UFC could put together for such a historic event. Francis didn't hesitate, but instead of giving a long explanation, he simply said the answer was obvious. He joked that the interviewer shouldn't even need him to confirm it. According to Francis, if you're talking about the biggest fight of all time, the one that truly moves the entire sport, it comes down to Francis Ngannou versus Jon Jones. Francis clarified that his view is not meant to discredit other fighters or other matchups. He said he respects every fighter, every card, and every stage, whether it's the main event in a packed arena or a preliminary bout with barely any audience. He pointed out that he became the heavyweight champion in the UFC Apex with no crowd at all, proving that greatness and legacy are not defined by how many people are watching live. A great fight is a great fight no matter where it takes place. But when the conversation shifts to scale, magnitude, anticipation, and pure historical impact, Francis believes his name across from Jon Jones is unmatched. He explained that Jon Jones has been considered one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport for more than a decade, while Francis has become one of the most feared knockout artists the heavyweight division has ever seen. Their styles, their stories, and their status in the sport create a natural collision that fans have been talking about for years. Francis didn't make grand promises or dramatic statements. Instead, he kept it simple, saying that if the UFC truly wants to make the biggest fight in the history of the organization, the answer is already clear. For Francis, it's not about hype or disrespect toward anyone else. It's about recognizing reality. The biggest fight is Francis Ngannou versus Jon Jones. Moving on to another news. RDR recently opened up about what went wrong in his fight against Brendan Allen and the struggles he has been dealing with behind the scenes. At the start of the fight, it looks like RDR was in control. His grappling was sharp, his pressure was heavy, and it seemed like he might cruise to a dominant win. But as the fight went on, something changed. Brendan Allen began to turn the tide, pushing back and surviving the grappling exchanges. Meanwhile, RDR started fading badly. By the end of the fourth round, his corner made the decision to throw in the towel, stopping the fight before further damage could happen. In interviews with Submission Radio and Homo Fight, RDR explained that he has been dealing with an ongoing medical issue that affected his performance. He didn't go into full details, but he did mention that his blood work revealed problems after the fight. He said he had noticed similar issues in past performances as well, including his fight with Malcolm, where he started strong but lost all energy as the rounds progressed. According to RDR, he had been pushing himself too hard, chasing opportunities and forcing his body to keep up even when it couldn't. During the Allen fight, by the time the first round ended, he already felt exhausted. When he sat on the stool, he felt like he had nothing left in his tank, and the same feeling continued into the next rounds. RDR made it clear that he completely agrees with his coach's decision to stop the fight. His coach, Heron, has been with him for over a decade. They have trained together, traveled the world, and built trust to the highest level. RDR said that Heron knows him better than he knows himself, and when his coach saw that he wasn't mentally present and physically there anymore, stopping the fight was the right call. RDR said there was no ego, no frustration, and no regret about that moment. During the interview, RDR also addressed an online situation involving a fake Twitter account pretending to be him. This account had been talking back and forth with Khamzat online, creating drama and confusion. RDR clarified that those messages did not come from him, and that Khamzat likely believed they were real. He laughed about it, saying the posts were wild and entertaining, and added that he reported the account multiple times until it was finally taken down. However, before the conversation moved on, RDR sent a message to Khamzat directly, telling him to be patient, keep the title safe, because he plans on coming for it soon when he is back to full strength. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.